Dutch thrash metal hails. This time we go back, really back in time with the band called Deadhead. If that sounds like something that you don't know, that's maybe because you have been misinformed. Maybe you haven't even been into the thrash metal scene and all that stuff, because this band is from the 80s. Oh, I kid you, because to be honest, last year was the first time I heard about this band, and trust me, being reviewing albums more than 20 years, it's easy to miss a name or two, even if they're old as fuck. Now, this band hasn't been really that active the past few years. Actually, they had more than 10 years hiatus between, I think, the 6th and 5th album. And one could imagine when you have been there for more than 3 decades, you really could have more than a dozen of albums. I mean, a lot of old bands really do, Cannibal Corpse and the like. But they're bands which, life gets in the way. And sometimes you just have those longer pauses between the albums. I don't, to be honest, really don't know what was the reason for this band. But I mean, if you really take a look at this Metal Archives list, all the way since 1989 when this band was founded, they have been somewhat active, or at least most of the time. I mean, first some demos, the old school way, 10 pretty quickly, a couple of first albums, once again the old school ways, and then it started to, slow down. 6 years between the album number 2 and 3, another 6 years between 3 and 4. And by the way, this Hard Land album from 2005 was something that I got to review as reissue earlier in 2022. And this one is actually 2022 release, but we're already in 2023, assuming this video comes out when I was supposed to put it out. This just gives you a little bit of idea how much delay or backlog there is with the review albums. However, let's not talk about that, but focus on the band in question and the album in question. Just pointing out, sometimes life gets in the way, and that is the reason why there are not too many albums out by this band. But what is interesting and worth mentioning is that 3 guys out of 4 are actually original members, which is pretty fucking cool if you ask me. So what is this music all about then? Some say thrash, death. I would rather say it's trash, but there is definitely some death metal to go with it. And Slave Driver, an album that is out over 30 years after the band was founded. It's quite an achievement, given that these guys are not newbies or young men anymore, but actually seasoned veterans with a lot of things under their belts, figuratively speaking. This one runs for some 45 minutes, which is actually pretty good length for old school release such as this. I mean, this is very traditional if you really think about it. 10 songs, check, 45 minutes usually. I mean, it's 45 minutes. The old school ways, and no weird songs which seem like, why are you adding this ballad here? Why are you doing this really awkward cover song or whatever? This is more about focusing on the very basics. This is an album, except for the production maybe, that could have come out some 30 years ago, and nobody would have been saying like it's weird or it's not really like that. This is very much a timeless release in so many ways. Everything here is channeling the very essence of thrash metal, but with a little bit of death metal to go with. The production is pretty much the only thing that some way resonates with the more modern take. I mean, of course, it's different than back in the 80s or 90s, but by no means it's not bad. I really like the production, and I really think that it supports whatever these guys are doing. It totally gives this album a punch and makes it more impactful, if you will. The tempo is quite up, so means these guys are not just, slacking around, slowing things down just because they are not youngsters anymore. They are kicking a punch, and I think they're doing it the right way. The thing here is, all the way through, this album is very energetic. It's more on the high tempo stuff, and it's really going nicely. Now for the butt section, and I don't mean the one body part related to your legs and thighs, but more about but there is something that I need to criticize a little bit, and that is the lack of hit songs. Yes, you heard me right. This is not exactly something that you would say But Slayer has those songs. Metallica has these ones, or Sodom, or Anthrax. You get the idea. There are lots of big bands which are known even to the mainstream mainstream audience. Fuck it, how hard it is. Because they have these hit songs, even the ones that, that resonate with the people who are not normally into thrash metal. And that's what Deadhead doesn't really have. Now, does it really matter? No, if you are into thrash metal or thrash death the way that most fans are. You're not after the hit songs only, but you want solid albums and you're good to go with them. And if you're like that, much like me, it doesn't really matter that much. But that is one of the defining things that separate the rather good ones from the truly great ones. Because the truly great ones are not built upon just individual hits, but they do have those as well. Think about Ride the Lightning. Everybody knows songs like Creeping Death or For Whom the Bell Tolls, but it's beyond than just that. Whereas Deadhead, it's more about the Escape or Trapped Under Ice material. My point here is, it's solid, but it's missing those songs that are like eternal champions, the ones that you get compared to when we're talking about, timeless classics and so on. But enough rambling on my part. I think if you're into thrash metal or thrash death, you should give Deadhead a go. This proves, in my opinion, that thrash metal or thrash death is not only young men's game, it's kind of a timeless genre, and if you're looking forward into some kind of music with a punch, this is a good album to start with, or continue with. Anyway, links provided in the description box. Check out the band and I hope you like it. Me personally, I would like to see this band someday and maybe do an interview. I have nothing but total respect towards guys who have been doing this so long and still kicking ass. Thanks for watching the review. Should you have comments or questions, let me know in the comments box below. See ya.